you and I talk a lot, so and I can tell when I talk to you whose side you're on, Malcolm or Martin.
Nah, growing up, I was for sure Malcolm. As I get older, I kind of understand the importance of both. I was definitely the guy, anti-establishment, anti-system. But as I get older, for sure, I'm a mix of both. I understand the importance of, Malcolm and Martin in the same breath.
It's not because you're in New York City.
No. I think it's just, I realize that, you can't kick in the door waving the 4-4 every time. Sometimes you do have to, tuck your shirt in and bring the lawyers in and figure some things out, but and negotiate, But I'm a mix of both. I think Malcolm was quite radical. And even when Malcolm came back from Mecca, he was absolutely, he understood.
Different person.
Martin, different person, same person, but just, he understood that, hey, we can't continue to just, kill white people. We have to negotiate and figure out how to get what is rightfully ours back.
Right. And living in America, I see that you don't only work with Haitians, you work with everybody, like American artists, white people, sure. And even
short
actors.
People, tall people.
Exactly.
We work it all. It's the Brooklyn Circus. Right. If we were the Brooklyn Circus, how fucked up would it be if we were the Brooklyn Circus and we were like super? We are selective about who we work with, and selective in a sense of where we want people out of pushing themselves.
Everybody, your models are different.
Pushing the boundaries, and different is all relative, because different and are pushing the boundaries of who and what they want to do. We want to work with people that are the best at what they do, because ultimately we become the best. If we work with the best, we become the best.
Are you hands-on on the selection process?
Absolutely, very hands-on.
Right. You seem like
I even dressed myself this morning. No stylist.
No stylist.
No stylist, baby.
Oh man. So what made you start that black party in Brooklyn?
The black party, the BKC Love Experience, is that what you're talking about?
You have a
block party. The block party is San Francisco. We started a block party in San Francisco because we wanted to bring a Brooklyn element. I grew up in Brooklyn.
So that was in San Francisco?
San Francisco, yes,
okay.
yes. I grew up in a time where, block parties were everything. I grew up listening to reggae music and hip hop music, so block parties were everything. It was just something energetic. There's an energy, there is just a source of inspiration and beauty when you open up the block.
The people.
Or shut down the block,
right,
and bring a certain mix of people, to, It's just something beautiful. And San Francisco lent itself to that, because San Francisco, where we were and where we are on Fillmore, it's the intersection of rich and poor, black and white, young and old. And it's the same thing with Bergen and Evans. We are the intersection of all of these things that come together to create the Brooklyn Circus. We're smack dab in the middle. So where we are on Bergen and Evans actually has the highest income and the lowest income.
Talking about your store.
Bergen and Evans. The highest income, the Bergen area or Boerum Hill, the highest income. So some of the richest people in Brooklyn live in that zip code, and some of the poorest people live in that zip code.
It's crazy.
That's America.
And what made you decide to open a store in Japan?
In Japan, our partnership in Japan was because the Japanese wouldn't take no for an answer. They wanted the product. They saw, they have a really keen sense of knowing what's genuine, what's real, and what's authentic, and they wouldn't take no for an answer. So some of the first the first magazine that we got featured in was Nylon magazine. But in general, we got a lot of press after that in Japan through the Japanese outlet.
You did an interview where you said Japanese people compete with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Haitians don't do that? And I'm talking about, if you know the history of Japan closed themselves off to the world,
mm-hmm,
and when they reopened their borders, they realized that they were a little bit behind.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what happened.
Mm-hmm.
They got they closed their borders again,
mm-hmm,
worked with each other, mm-hmm, and in World War II, they almost took over the world. And they didn't care about, we need to speak English, we need to speak French, we need to speak, a different language. They're like, no, we could speak Japanese and still achieve the same amount of power or strength that we need, mm-hmm, just within ourselves. Mm-hmm. So why us Haitians, we always think that we gotta learn French, we gotta learn English in order to make it? Whereas, bro, who the hell cares? Let's just speak our Creole and we could still take over the world with our Creole.
Well, the difference between that is we were colonized. And the effects of, you know, being colonized, you know what I mean, is it runs deep. The effects of slavery runs deep. The effects of, you know, worshiping your master and seeing that as your guide, it runs deep. When you think about even the relationship between, you know, China, some of the Japanese, there are certain aspects of course, Japanese culture that's directly from Chinese culture, because Chinese culture is older than Japanese culture. Same thing with the Koreans. And when you think about the Japanese relationship with the Koreans and the Chinese, they all do, in a sense, compete, you know? But us as a people, our issue is, of course, it's slavery. Yes, it's, you know, we've been colonized, you know, they placed a language on you and forced you to speak a language that ultimately was about creating this level of class. And you as a man, you feel like, if I speak English better, and if I speak French, and if I speak French better, then I'm better than that man and this man. So we're dealing with all of that. As soon as we release ourselves of all of that, that's why I love hip hop. Hip hop is like, yo, fuck the world, don't ask me for shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Kicking the door, waving the 4-4.
Right.
So it's, once we release ourselves of that, you know, and it's hard. It's very hard. It's a challenge. We have to find ourselves and our true selves, and not even ask folks for approval. When you find your true self, run with it. And when we stop trying to ask for approval, even the rebels sometimes ask for approval. Like, man, fuck this shit. What do you think? The fuck? You're a rebel. Fuck what they think. Do what you do.
Man. Ouigi, again, bro, thank you for coming, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, bro. Like, you know, you always got some jewels to drop, man. L'amour vie vive, bro.
Ah non, vive, mon cher. C'est pas vive, c'est vive. Vive, joue la vie, man. You know, as Haitians, we have a responsibility to, you know, ourselves and to Haiti. Not to Flatbush, not to, you know, Broward County, not to all them other places that, you know, we wave flag for, not to Labor Day Parade. You know what I mean? We have a responsibility to Haiti, whether it is, you know, what the world say, safe, unsafe, voodoo, par exemple, voodoo, catholique, ne peut pas ça, retourner en Haïti, tout ça apprendre ici, à porter le tourner dans le pays, ou, demander bon Dieu, demander pour pays à changer, c'est nous qui avons changé le pays. Because some people that have, the people that have the access, they live in a space, and that space is good. The people that don't have the access, they live in another space, and that space is bad, you know, for them, or it is struggle. Where we come in is we have to expand it and bridge the gap between those two. We're the middle class that Haiti needs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
Again, man, thank you for coming, bro.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Hope you come back, man. I hope you regularly here every time you do the show.
Depuis 2 mois, 3 mois, je dis, Ouigi, le 24 à 1h, c'est pas plat, même, du ma plat, je dis, du ma plat.
Yes, man.
I love.
Appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate you, brother.
Respect.
Keep doing what you guys are doing.
Peace.
Yes.